Hi everybody, it's Anne here from annshappystampers.co.uk and I'm back with another tutorial. Now, I don't know if you remember, well you probably will, but a few days ago I made this little storage box for your pearls, dimensionals, etc. And it's been really popular, so today we're going to make something virtually the same, but I thought it would be nice to store your framelits and thinlits or whatever you call them, but it's going to have two sides to this one, so hopefully it'll work out. Now I'm going to use mint macaron for the card, and I've already scored a couple of bits because it's the second time I've done the video I'd messed up. So you're going to need two pieces which measure 8 inches by 8.5 inches, a piece which is 5.5 by 7.25, and a piece which is 11 inches by 5.5. Okay, and the DSP is the new one, Blooms and Bliss I think you call it, yeah. And you need 4 pieces which are 1.25 by 3 inches. You need 2 pieces which are 5.25 by 3 inches, and 2 pieces which are 5.25 by 2 3/4 of an inch. So if you get your scoreboard, okay, so the 11 by 5.5 piece, if you put it in on the long side and you need to score it at 6.25 inches, 8.25 inches and 10.25 inches. Okay, then the 5.5 by 7.25, put it in on the long side and just score it at 1 inch. Now I haven't scored these, so the 8.5 by 8, if you put it in on the long side, so the 8.5 is at the top, okay, score it at 1.5 inches and 7 inches, and that's on the long side. Turn it round to the short side, the 8-inch side, and score it at 3.25 inches and 4.75. So yeah, 4.75. So you should end up with that. So do the same with the other piece. Pop it in on the long side, score it at 1.5 inches and 7. Short side 3.25 inches and 4.75 inches. Alright, and that's all it for the scoring, so we can pop this out the way. Okay, so you just take your bone folder and fold and burnish all the lines. Okay, so I've now got the 11 by 5.5 inch piece, and how that's going to fold up is, let us get this right, yeah, so it's going to go a valley, then a mountain, I think, is that right? No, that's not right. Goes that way, just the same as what we did with the other one. That still isn't right. Yeah, that's right. So it's that kind of shape. Okay, and then our 5 1/4, is it, no, 5 1/2 by 7 1/4, we just fold the top over, and what's going to happen is we're going to put tape on here, adhere it to there, and then this bit will get tape on and get stuck to there like that. So when it opens, it's like a kind of tent thing, yeah. So if we get some tape, and we want some tape on the back of here, and then we also want some tape along this piece here, just so it's nice and strong and it doesn't come apart. Okay, so first of all, if we remove the tape off this top piece, okay, and just line this up so it's nice and level on the top. And that's that bit stuck, and then remove these bottom pieces, and that is just going to stick to there. There we go, so you should have that kind of tent shape. Okay, so now for our boxes, so all we need to do is, we've got 2 little squares in either side. If we just cut up the squares and just take a little wedge out of each side of the square. Do the same on this side. Okay, and we'll stick this one together. So how it's going to go together is, I'm going to stick this bit and the tab onto there, so the tab's not getting stuck inside, and then that will go over like that. Okay, so we're going to need some tape on the inside of our tab. Okay, so like I say, that is going to go onto there and onto there, so we need tape on both of these ones here. So just remove the tape. Okay, just fold that round. The tab is going to get stuck inside there. Okay, and then that is just going to get wrapped around there. Just get it nice and level. And there's your little tray, which is going to go on one side, and it's just exactly the same for the other one. Just snip up here, there we go. So you've got both of your little pockets now. And then if we take our designer series paper and we want the 5 1/4 by 3, because they're going to go on to there like that, and I'm just going to use some snail for that. Okay, so just get that nice and central. Goes on there. And this bit on here. Okay, and then it's going to attach to here, but I want to pop some ribbon around. So before I do that, I've got the new mini striped ribbon in mint macaron. It's so pretty, really silky. I want to pop some on here. I'm just going to tie it in a little knot, so I don't want lots. Just makes it look pretty. There we go. just trim that off. And I'm going to do the same with the other piece. Just put okay, so that's that, and then I now want to attach these on both sides this time because I only did one last time, so I'm hoping this is going to work. And some good strong tape on the back, glue or whatever you want to use really. Okay, and then just remove the tape. You could probably put a little bit more on if you want. It's just I don't want this video dragging on forever. And then just line it up, get it as straight as you can. That's about right, and then just push that down. Okay, and then same with the other side. Just try and line that up as best you can. And push that down, and there we go. I think it's looking really cool. So that's what you've got now. So I've got a bit here which I wanted to put tape on. So these are 5 1/4 by 2 3/4, and they're going to go there. I mean, you could even put a contrasting one on, which I think I might do actually. I might put the opposite side on just to make it look a bit different. I mean, you don't have to put any on this bit, it's entirely up to you, because you're not really going to see it really by the time you get your framelits and stuff in, or whatever you're going to keep in it. There we go. So the idea is we are going to be able to pop our framelits in both, that one's still in the plastic, both sides, which, and then it's, you can just pick it up. I mean, you could actually even punch like an oval in there and have a little handle if you wanted to, but I think it's a really cool idea. Something, you know, another way to store your whatever you want. I mean, you could even get embossing folders in, and you know, it's not going to fall. You know, it's really sturdy, really strong. Yeah, you could put your embossing folders in, or you could have your framelits in one side, embossing folders in another, or just have pearls one side, embossing folders, whatever you want to do. So I hope you like it, and all the details will be on my blog, and I'll be back again soon with another video. So until then, thanks for watching and bye for now.